Fancy's Clockworks. The name of the last adventure I thought was a funny D&D word, but apparently it's just a normal fancy word that I didn't know, which the name of the adventure was Masterpiece Imbroglio. And an imbroglio is like a incident or an event.
Also, Natalie Imbroglio, right?
Are they spelled the
It's
same?
not. I think it is not spelled the same. Is it?
No.
I'm torn.
YouTube showed me a clip from a game show, an Australian game show. I have not watched it. It's a spelling bee, and it had some people from Taskmaster on it. And so it was like, you want to watch this? And I watched a little bit.
Read guy on spelling bee.
And Australian or New Zealand?
He's from New Zealand. It started off as a web show, then on New Zealand television, and now it's on Australian television. There's separate seasons.
Interesting. Okay, good for him. Also, somewhat confusingly, they had one of the guys from the Dragon Friends on it who I had never seen a picture of him, and it was like, what is this weird voice coming? Also, why is he swearing so much less? But it was mainly very confusing to me because, and maybe you love this show, Monty, but I didn't take to it in part because some of the words they were doing are words that have different spellings in like UK.
A lot of extra U's.
That's the joke.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, the joke is sometimes he'll say it's a homophone round, and he'll give you a word that has two different spellings. You have to guess which one. It's a comedy show that uses a spelling bee as its format. It's not a spelling bee. You have to get past that, and then it's fun.
This one was not a homophone, but it was So I think this part may have not been that, Monty, but it was they did the standard spelling of it as a British term, and I was like, that's wrong, and they're like, that's right, and I looked it up, and it's like, oh, I guess it's right for them, but I probably wouldn't use that word in an internationally viewed.
But again,
it's not.
They've done that round with Americans on the panel specifically to mess with the Americans.
All right, fair enough.
Like, hey, how much does it spell? We have to watch things that spell it the American way all the time, so spell it the Canadian way or the British way. Huh. I'd be actually super pumped about it. Yeah. Of course, they probably still spell things wrong.
Kathy, how are we doing? Are we able to be live? Are we already live? How's that?
Oh, hi guys!
Oh, wow, they've been so gripped by our spelling bee talk.
Well,
I'm sorry y'all missed our. I was just about to give out my social security number and everything.
Next time.
Nope, that's just a name switcheroo. Everybody's got to play a different character tonight. Deal.
Hey, that'd be fun. Just impromptu switching up characters.
I think I did something with that once with like a mind ray artifact or something. It works better in person because you can just make people hand character sheets around, and then also people get mad about people's handwriting. But yeah. David F says can't hear Kathy. Kathy, say some stuff.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Oni, do you have a Google document you would like to share with us?
I do, but I would not. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you a link, but don't click on it yet. How's that?
Okay, fine.
I don't know if you remember, I've done that for other Golden Vault stuff.
But sometimes you give it to us early.
Yeah. This one,
same document.
This one it is the same document.
I was like, we already have the link.
Yeah, you do.
Interesting. We got to give them a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
allows buying and selling to happen in that game was shown. In any fantasy world, you can buy magic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the free market will evolve, right?
Okay.
I'm putting a link to that PDF in our.
It does
Golden
have
Ball
+1
Slack channel.
armor down in game-changing items.
Info you haven't learned yet. Probably don't look at it till after.
Okay, so you're hearing voices
Do you open your
now.
Christmas
if
presents?
If you hear this in the chat, please give me a unicorn emoji.
Yeah, using special
If
things.
not, I know, timing, baby, timing. And then tell me if it's reverbing.
There was a time when none of us were like, we can't hear anyone.
Yeah.
That's probably because that was the point when we stopped speaking.
No, I think that was while we were talking about items.
It was a technical thing.
Kathy was.
Okay.
There may voices and Kathy too. Prove it. Prove do the thing that Kathy said.
What I say? What did I say? Do what I say.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I don't. The bootleg may or may not have a special discussion of how do you find the prices of things. So that was very boring.
So boring. Wish this is the perfect time to do that. But I think maybe we're ready then to do a thing.
All right.
I'm gonna try not to break anything, but there's things. Let's just say we're doing great, and we're gonna keep it
great.
Tight
we're
hours.
doing great.
We're gotta keep it a tight hour.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
You're awesome. I can't do it, so you're doing better than me.
Well, and I have a concert to go to in an hour, so let's go, baby.
All right,
let's
go. All right.
LFG.
I was like, what does that mean? So, live stream / bootleg. We are about to start a new adventure. We're going to start Acts from the Grave. I say these things out loud as if I'm not going to just repeat them on the actual recording because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, people. We're all just barely getting by.
Yes.
Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons, or in your case, hopefully listen to some Dungeons and Dragons and find some enjoyment in that. I have not run this adventure for anyone yet, but it looks to be fun and interesting. It is called Acts from the Grave. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master, and today we are starting up the next adventure from our Keys from the Golden Vault series of heist-based adventures. We are starting Acts from the Grave, a 6th-level adventure from that collection of adventures I just named. But that's not enough for me. Let's meet our players and get things started. First up, rejoining our group, it's Chip Sudderth. How you doing, Chip?
I'm doing great. I'm Chip. My pronouns are he, him.
Chip, who are you playing today?
My character's name is Josh Molis. His pronouns are also he, him. He is a rogue cleric, more properly a cleric rogue, very cleric, not so much rogue. He means well. He's a youth pastor, heist guy, and he's been hurt for a while.
Mm-hmm. Also joining us, it's Monty Ashley.
It's me. Hi, I'm Monty Ashley. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing Krong, a bugbear rogue who these days wears a hat of disguise a lot, so you don't know what he looks like.
Mm-hmm. Next up, it's Kathy Campbell.
Hey, I'm Kathy Campbell, pronouns she, her, and I'm playing Tinker Bell, a fairy druid who also uses she, her pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, it's Annette Weerstra.
Hello, I am Annette. I am playing J-Raff, an Asimar paladin who is a little bit goth, but also now thinks she's a fashion designer. We both use the pronouns she, her.
Well, Annette, our adventure is actually going to start in J-Raff's rumpus room, basement.
I like rumpus room.
Rumpus room? Okay, I threw that out when Monty was like, where's our adventure starting today? I thought rumpus room, but I felt like I needed to clear that with you before determining if your character...
We used to call our basement rumpus room.
Okay, but I wasn't sure if canonically
Rumpus.
And I would not, I would not assign a character a rumpus room. That would be, we gotta agree on that and negotiate
everyone's
that
that
mutually.
lucky.
Yeah. But for folks who aren't familiar with the events of the last adventure, it was a success. They recovered a stolen magical painting and returned it to the people that were the rightful owners of it. But they drew a little bit of heat on their adventure, and in particular, there was a kind of a rival group of thieves slash assassins that weren't too thrilled with them and attempted to confront them on the road and steal the painting back. And our heroes were victorious, but things are this is not the way our previous heists have gone. So rather than meeting up in your local tavern, the Phoenix's Beak, I think this is a rumpus room evening, right? You got to keep a low profile. So you and Krong and Tinkerbell are there. Jasper is off mending but doing fine. And there's a knock at the door. JRAF, does your rumpus room canonically have an exterior door?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's good for rumpus room parties.
Mm-hmm. There's a knock at the door.
I look around like, hey, are we expecting everyone? I thought it was just us.
Well, it's your house. You should find
Well,
out.
I guess. But if we're trying to, I don't care. I'm gonna open the door.
We'll just
I'm
be
not
ready.
that great at being sneaky.
Yep. Standing there in the doorway is, I don't know if he's been to the rumpus room before, but you remember him from previous adventures. It's Josh Mullis,
Josh.
who is, like you, a key from the Golden Vault, which is a secret society, a society with secrets, and their operatives are known as keys. So
I offer Josh a drink because my rumpus room has a wet bar.
I
Yeah.
could use that. Nice. I like this. This feels nice and rumpusy.
Yeah, it's
I could rumpus here.
Yeah, like we
Roll-
rumpus here all the time.
roll to rumpus.
Come rump
That-
with us.
Is rumpus a dexterity-based skill? I'm thinking.
No, rumpus is like Smurf. It can be used in many different
Oh,
ways.
okay.
I feel.
I was
Well,
going to
that's-
use acrobatics as a proxy.
Okay, yeah. So dex, yeah, it's
I
a
can
very-
really get into the rumpusing.
Okay.
I was thinking it was charisma.
Mm.
See, it's Smurf.
So sorry I've been away. I've been like healing and stuff. You should be amazed that I've gotten the crutches in the rear view. But guys, I have a thing, and I produce a golden key.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
As our operatives know, missions from the Golden Vault are handed out via keys. Each of you has a special little kind of wooden box that has basically only one feature on it, a keyhole, and you know that when you place that key in the keyhole, the magic box will give you a mission briefing.
So now that I'm all fixed up, they gave me the key. They sent me here. They sent me to find you guys. They told me you wouldn't be at the tavern.
Yeah, we're trying to lay a little bit low.
Well, let's find out if we're going to be able to stay that way, huh?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I can insert the key
All right.
in my box.
I extend key.
You put the key in the box, and you hear the familiar voice of Mira Rahir, your handler for the Golden Vault, and her voice says the following: Greetings, operatives. Our next mission is going to take you a little bit a ways from Varkenbluff, and normally we wouldn't bother you with this kind of thing, but the Golden Vault felt it was in your best interest to have a little bit of distance from the previous incidents. Our seers have detected that there is or will be some kind of undead presence in the small town of Toad Hop. You'll probably spend more time getting there and back than dealing with it, but we'd like you to take care of this and make sure that peace and tranquility is maintained. Take care. And the key disappears. Very brief briefing.
That sounds
too easy.
deceptively simple.
Yeah.
Do the undead schedule their uprisings now?
Well,
Do they send out
Mo-
press
Monty-
releases?
Monty,
I
you
feel-
know about people that can see the future. Reference to Monty's other characters. Yeah.
All right. I was just assuming it was like a zombie convention that was,
Mm.
on the calendar.
Mm.
Who knew that the zombies have sked?
Why am I justifying myself to the DM?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're being so nice and friendly.
Mhm. What will you do next?
That's all the information they gave us?
Yep.
Not where
That's
to
it.
go, like the name of the city?
They said Toad Hop.
Okay, so that's right. Right. Okay.
Small town of Toad Hop.
Do we know anything about the small town of Toad Hop?
Would you
how
like to
far away it
roll
is?
a history check for knowing things about Toad Hop?
I would.
And I would like to help.
I rolled an
I'm-
18.
You get advantage because Tinkerbell is helping. So
I still rolled an 18. But thank you.
18.
Perfect.
And it looks like Josh, you rolled a 15. You are both racking your brains, being like Toad Hop, and it's like I think maybe there's even like a globe or a map in Rumpus Room decor. J-Raf?
Yeah,
what would you have?
obviously.
Map
Yeah.
or map or globe? What are we dealing with here?
Both. The
Oh,
globe
wow.
is like a drink
Ooh.
globe because it's kind of like it's Party
Obviously.
Central, and it kind of
Mhm.
like there's like
Mhm.
lights and stuff.
That makes sense.
But also there is a map on the wall because
I imagine also though the globe, like I don't think anyone has circumnavigated this world, so like it's like they've only got like one
no.
quarter of it is like
we're
filled
not
in.
even sure that it's round,
and,
honestly.
and,
Might not
and the
have
rest of it is just kind of like shrug,
Come on. Day one of being a wizard, someone's going to go do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So you're able to figure out like, oh yeah, Toad Hop. Toad Hop is a tiny little town. It is not on the globe, but it is on the map. That you've got a like a regional map of the Sword Coast. It's kind of a little farming town, and it is like the whatever size dot you put for various locations on your map, it is the smallest dot available. It is about 2 days travel by horse-based conveyance from here, and it is kind of inland away from the coast where most of the major cities that you are familiar with are. That's Toad Hop. I'm going to tell you, even with an 18, nobody knows anything else about Toad Hop or why
There's
Toad Hop
nothing
would
else
be.
to know.
Are there a lot of toads there? Is it?
I mean, maybe there's just one noteworthy toad. We don't know until
Because
we
toad
get.
is
guess-
both a plural and a singular.
Yeah.
It's true.
We don't know.
Or
That's
maybe it
true.
was just founded by a halfling named John Toadhop.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Until you get boots on the ground, there is no way of knowing what is going on in Toad Hop. Why is it called that? What is their chief export? Hopefully not toads. Maybe hops. They could export hops.
Ooh,
Said it
oh,
would
be like a
that's
community.
good beer.
Yeah, they could have a huge microbrewery scene. Probably not, but they could.
They could.
Uh,
It's possible.
yeah.
Well, let's go.
Do
All right.
we saddle up?
Yeah.
Um,
Now, Jay, I assume that you are, you're a family of wealth and that you just have
Mhm.
access to.
We have like carriages. And
yeah.
I also have a horse from last
and
adventure.
I don't know why I'm like, yeah, and that has to provide the horse in this imaginary world, as if me providing you with a horse and carriage costs me anything. But yeah,
I have one. Like,
Yeah. a nice
I,
one.
I'd like just to, we don't get the good one. My parents take the good one.
Okay.
We take the lesser
They hand me down
carriage.
one. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
black and it's kind of cool.
Now, do you bring a driver with you, or not for stealth missions? I don't know.
I don't
We
know.
did last time.
I think
Yeah.
we
And by
did.
the way, how's that guy doing?
Yeah.
I believe you left him behind when you all stole
No,
slash
we
became
sent him.
horses.
We sent him away. He knows how to get home.
Okay.
He,
All right.
He's
We sent him
like,
and we told him in the carriage to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the
Yeah.
keys, like
Okay.
hired hand
Mhm.
people, so they know how to handle themselves. They're not a key themselves. Like maybe they didn't.
You
pass the
definitely did
physical-
not endanger an innocent.
No, of course
I
not.
would have checked him,
No, we
checked
would
in on
never
him,
do
given him
that.
a box of chocolates or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
said thank you.
He's
for
allergic to
direct
chocolate. How did you not remember that? Yeah, he's.
For his
Did I
family.
I forgot to mention that he's a dog person. Did that not come up in my description? Canon.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
the
so
same
am I.
I
way.
gave him a kitten.
Delicious.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Um,
Well,
So-
we're gonna have the same driver.
All right.
That I definitely
Gotcha.
remember his name because
I don't think it was ever discussed.
He loved working with us so much that he's
Okay.
like, anytime these keys have to go out, I'd like to be involved.
All right. Would you like to fast forward to 2 days later arriving in Toad Hop?
No, we'd like to go really slowly.
Can we do it? We'd like to do it in like on time.
Real
In real
time.
time. In real
yes.
time. Okay. 48 episodes later.
Tony, when
Yeah.
we get there, I'm going to look like a buxom lady with a big fancy
Ooh.
Sunday church hat.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right.
Amazing.
Did anyone oppose me fast forwarding you to Toad Hop?
No,
No,
not
All
really.
right.
no.
So the main thing is Toad Hop is a long way from anything. If you forgot something in Farkin Bluff, too bad, because you're now in Toad Hop.
Oh,
It looks like
on the way there,
Farmville.
though, we definitely we've learned the driver's name.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have to name him or do you have to name him?
You need to name
You
him.
should. I like the idea that neither of us knows his name, but our characters do.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
probably got a fish in it.
I was gonna give him a dog name, and I was thinking that like Pluto would be like a nice both name for a dog and also kind of like a spooky underworld name that it lives at that intersection.
Ooh,
Mhm.
I'm
So
here for it. I'm
all right.
okay with that. Yeah.
Hey,
Pluto. We can assume that it's a Dungeons and Dragons name, so it's got like I don't know, like an apostrophe or something
Yeah.
in there.
Yep.
But yeah,
An umlaut.
yeah. It's Pluto, but it's spelled with like a D instead of a T for some reason. Pluto. So it is, you have a long ride over hill and dale, over the rolling roads as you head out into the countryside. For some of you, maybe this is a lovely retreat from the hustle and bustle of the city. For other of you, this may feel like weird and claustrophobic, and it's so quiet and peaceful out here. But Pluto brings the carriage around and kind of knocks on the top of the carriage and lets you know that we have just entered the outskirts of Toad Hop. Now, Toad Hop is a small looking, I think this is lower than a village, lower than a city, lower than a town. It is described as a hamlet. And it does seem to be primarily a farming based hamlet, lots of little farmhouses, lots of rolling cultivated fields all around. It looks like basically the only non-private dwellings in the center of town. There is a building that is like, I imagine it might have kind of like two paint styles to it. One side is an inn, and the other side is a tavern. But they seem to be
Ooh.
operated by different people.
That's funny.
Yeah. So you are here in Toad Hop.
Shall we
You've
get a
now
drink?
technically completed the mission as was assigned to you.
Hooray! Let's go cause trouble in the tavern. I mean, go get a nice drink.
Oh, we haven't been in a tavern for a while
Yeah.
because we've been avoiding the tavern. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good point.
I have a
Before-
feeling we're not worried about like other people,
Mhm.
like we had in the other taverns
Yeah.
because we're gonna look weird.
If they are here, they followed us here, so they're gonna find us anyway. So let's go to the tavern.
Before
You-
we do that, can I suggest that we look around to see if there's a graveyard conveniently
Ooh,
placed?
smart.
That is smart.
Okay. Give me some kind of perception check to see if there's a graveyard in Toad Hop.
Oh, I rolled very well. One moment, please. 21.
All right, you spot
Nice.
on the outskirts of town the spire of a temple, Krong, and you know immediately that where there's a temple, there is going to be a graveyard, and you can tell from a distance that it's kind of just a generic temple that would be probably have shrines to a variety of your, not that we deal in binaries here of good and bad, but like your good gods, the gods of light and the harvest and sunrise and nature and things like that. But you know that there would probably be a graveyard right next to that.
Not the Raven Queen then.
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
keep an eye on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want to head to the graveyard or do you want to head?
No, let's go to
into
the
the inn?
tavern.
All right.
Just,
We just traveled for
Scouting.
2 days. We gotta
All right.
wash the dust off our tongue.
You head into the tavern. The tavern is called My Left Boot. It's got a sign that's boot shaped out front. And as you head in, you are clearly a couple faces turned to look at you. It looks like it's mainly humans, a couple gnomes and dwarves, and you are clearly the only non-farmers in this joint, and probably the only non-farmers they have seen in quite a while.
What's up, y'all?
A tavern keeper comes over and just tankards of ale appear, suggesting that their drink menu is limited because you were not asked what you would like.
Thank you, dearie.
Well, welcome, Travos. I'm Huberta Hadley. Welcome to My Left Boot. I'm the operator and owner. We haven't had anyone pass through in quite a while.
Well, I'm so glad you're open.
It's our pleasure. Can I get anyone a cheese sandwich? Cheese sandwich? Cheese sandwich?
A cheese?
Yes, please.
Is it toasted?
Of course.
Excellent. Then yes,
What
I'd
cheese?
like a toasty.
It is cow cheese.
Delicious.
Okay. And 4 toasted cheese sandwiches appear not too much longer after that.
Do they appear or are they delivered? I'm just asking.
They're delivered.
Okay, just
Magical
Everything
world.
magical.
They appear through mundane means of transport by Huberta Hadley, owner and operator of My Left Boot.
Are they good?
They're good. They're fine.
Oh, excellent.
You know,
While we're examining our cheese sandwiches, how have the other farmers reacted to us?
it seems like perhaps you are the center of attention, but I think if you had to kind of generalize the whole group, benign curiosity, right?
Okay.
So people are definitely like, who are those guys? What are they going to do? I bet something's going to happen if we keep staring at them.
But nobody's gonna kick our butt.
No,
Or
nobody
chase us
looks
out.
hostile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal.
Hmm.
Cool.
Start engaging. I'd say we just start, being sociable. We're in a tavern, milling about, not saying
Vibing.
a lot, but being chatty.
Okay. Would you like to roll some kind of investigation or bluff or something to engage a farmer?
I'm happy to roll an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And I have rolled an 18.
Josh, you are just a real easygoing kind of cleric, and you are looking around and you spot one farmer who is sitting by himself, but he looks like he would be receptive to company or in a conversation. And you sidle up to him and he says, "Hey, traveler, my name's Eben. Well, welcome to Toadop."
Hi, Eben. I'm Josh. I'm just I'm passing through with my friends. I'm a bit of a pastor, I guess. How's the farming?
Oh, no complaints. Could do with a little bit more rain, but when can I say that? Am I right?
You're absolutely right. Can I buy you a drink?
Oh, I've already got one. But thank you kindly for the offer.
How are
Monty's
things
giving
here?
me a weird look.
How are things in Toad Hop?
Can't tell.
Odd silence.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Mhm.
My Zoom is
Uh-oh,
being
he's
sad.
looking something
Uh-oh.
up.
Uh-oh.
Roll
There's a whole
initiative.
chart he has to
Yeah.
roll on to tell you how things are in Toad Hop.
That's never good.
I apologize. My Zoom dropped there for a second. It sounded like you were just chatting with Eben about how things are.
I was asking how things were in Toad Hop.
No complaints. Things are good. Could do with a little bit more rain, but crops looking good this year.
So it sounds like no zombies.
Can't say I know anything about any zombies.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. What do you farm? Just engaging in the small talk, just letting things roll.
Barley mainly. That's my preferred crop.
You're a
Not
brewer?
hops, not hops. Think of something else that's not hops.
I just grow the barley. Other people, end up in with the processing and whatnot. But yep, fourth generation barley farmer.
Well, if your barley goes into the malt that makes the drink, then I judge you to be a person of excellent character.
Oh, thank you. We're very proud of how much we produce locally here. Um, the beer local, the cheese, the bread on those sandwiches local, the cheese sourced from the mayor directly. Very very proud of our
Hopefully
work
the
here.
mayor's cows.
No, I heard
was
him.
gonna
He
say.
said the mayor is a cow, 100%.
Cannon.
This is a weird world. Our driver is a dog person.
Yep, it's
There is a sound at there's a door, one of the, not the main door into the left boot, but like the side door, and it's one of those farm doors with the bottom half and the top half are independent. Yeah, and
Green
there's sound
doors.
there, and there's a cow poking its head over the door into the tavern, and all of the farmers raise their glasses and say, "To the mayor!" And the
To the
farm
mayor!
and the
To the moor.
and the mayor moves
Were.
enthusiastically, and the bartender brings over like a tankard full of hay.
A tankard full of hay.
Amazing.
Little towns do what they can to keep themselves entertained.
What a picturesque little hamlet.
Yep.
This feels way too chill.
Yeah. Alas,
Yeah,
poor
nothing seems
Yorick.
imminent.
Doesn't
Shall-
feel much like a heist either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
You
we
guys
notice
gonna-
anything? Do we
anyone,
notice any?
anyone want to steal that cow?
Challenge accepted.
Nope. Challenge not accepted. Not accepted. Not playing with that.
Once
Anybody noticing
once you steal a
anything
cow,
unusual?
then you got to you're responsible for feeding and taking care of that
And
cow. It's a lot of
milking.
My
responsibility.
parents will pay for it.
It's a lot of responsibility. I don't think you guys are ready to steal a cow. You've
Especially not the
stolen,
mayor.
yeah,
Not
Yeah.
you've
the
stolen
mayor.
giant gems and the key to a city and things like that. But
Picture.
a magic painting, but a cow.
Yeah.
That's
Too
all right.
much.
Shall we what time of day is it? Is it like
It is just afternoon.
okay. So it's not time for bed.
No,
But we can probably secure rooms.
you could secure rooms just next door in an establishment known as
The right
My
boot.
right boot.
Uh,
Your right boot.
High five,
Nope.
Monty.
Strangely, Misty's bunks.
Oh.
They really are
That's
missing.
disappointing.
Missed
Yeah, they're really
opportunities.
missing out on some
So,
synergy there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
We'll forgive him. We'll forgive him.
Um,
But yeah, let's get some rooms.
all right, you go next door and you get rooms for the night at Misty Punks. They are extremely affordable, but also rather rustic.
We do get a receipt because I assume that we charge back all of our expenses.
Oh,
To the
obviously.
Golden Vault. Yep.
Obviously.
Yep. So,
A little handwritten receipt.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have any of us noticed anything unusual about either the tavern or the inn?
It's probably the quaintest place you've ever been. And some of you just went to a gnomish city.
Should we do like a little walkabout? Maybe go to
Yeah.
the
Take a
graveyard?
stroll around
Yeah.
town.
hmm
We're
Yep.
tourists. We're here to look at the steeples and stuff.
Mhm,
All right.
Exactly.
There is one steeple in town.
Oh, but it's exquisite.
It's okay.
The four of us
It
stand there
exists.
looking at the steeple, taking it in for a few minutes.
Mhm,
We're good.
Our heads start to hurt like a
Mhm.
hand maybe.
mhm, mhm.
Um
So there is a steeple. It's the temple on the edge of town. It's kind of up on a little hill, and you notice as you're kind of headed in that direction, there's a couple kids. They look like they're maybe they're like tweens. There's two humans and a halfling, and they're kind of looking at you as you're heading toward the path that leads from the town up the hill, and they're looking at you kind of like, I wonder what's up with these guys.
hi.
Hey, kids.
Hey, strangers. You guys going to go up the hill?
Yeah.
What's up the
Yes.
Well, there's the old temple, and we're just gonna want to see if you guys are gonna go up there, cause we hear it's haunted.
hill? Ooh, what haunts it?
The other one says ghosts, and the other one says punches him. No, it's zombies.
Ooh.
We're writing a
Oh.
book on local mythology. Tell us everything you know about this ghost,
I mean, I haven't seen it,
dearie.
but what?
Deary.
I added dearie there.
Oh, dear. You really sold it, Kronk. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either. Me neither. But everybody knows that, like, there's like a ghost up there, and like, I mean, at least since last Tuesday.
Oh, what happened on
So-
Tuesday?
Well, somebody saw a ghost for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like walks around and makes noises, and Jerry says it chased him, but Jerry lies about everything, so maybe he just saw it.
So the one that says it's a zombie, why'd you call it a zombie instead of a ghost?
Well, it has feet, and I don't think ghosts have feet, but I'm not sure.
That's a good. That's a very good logical
Mhm.
thing. What kind of noises?
One of
did
them
it
says ghosts can have feet, and the other one's like, no, they can't. That's not a ghost. It's something else.
make?
Like kind of like moaning noises, kind of thing.
But not like the mayor.
No, that's a cow.
Well, I know.
Well,
but it
you
sounded
said
like a mayor.
mass, a lot like moo.
Moo.
Yeah.
Well, it's very disrespectful to our culture.
I do apologize.
One of the tweens is very precocious.
Tell us everything about your culture. We'll add that to the book.
Yep. Thank you so much.
we have a tavern called the Left Boot. We have a mayor, a ceremonial mayor who's a cow, and possibly as of Tuesday a haunted temple. Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Nope.
Mhm.
Do you wanna show us where the ghost or zombie
No.
was? Oh, okay.
And they run away.
Okay. Problem solved.
My theory is that
Yeah.
the ghost is a fraud. The mayor set it up to increase tourism to this town to get
Yes.
a bigger
Probably.
dot on the map.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
That sounds like something
Classic
a cow would
Scooby-Doo.
do. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's head up the hill.
All right, you head up the hill, and there is a tiny kind of nondescript temple with kind of very generic, not expertly made artistic renditions of a variety of the gods that people in Toad Hop might pray to. And next to it, in a little kind of fence with an old rusty wrought iron, little yard with a wrought iron fence around it, is what's clearly the town's graveyard.
Cool.
Any signs of disturbed graves?
Roll some investigation checks there, Josh.
I'm possibly the wrong person to be asking these questions.
I rolled a 15.
Josh, you are taken in by the first gravestone you find, and it's like amazing. You pull out like a piece of paper and start doing like a rubbing on it to like record it. Jay heads past you several rows into the graveyard and almost trips over an open grave.
So does this
Bar.
grave, can I tell if it's like dug from below or dug from above?
Yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll for that because that seems ridiculous. Clearly, this is a grave that has been dug out with tools,
Okay.
from above. There, clearly with the way it's kind of the kind of square hole of it, shovels, and there is a empty wooden coffin still in the grave. The lid to the coffin is like lying next to the hole that has been dug here.
Okay. I'd like to flutter down because I'm guessing it was 6 feet under. So
Oh, yeah.
It's
Traditional.
easier for a little fairy to fly down and investigate around in the little casket.
In the casket.
Yep. I rolled a 17.
You investigate it, Tink, and it doesn't smell great. Seems like there was probably
A dead person in there?
Yeah,
You think?
recently, but there is not currently a dead person in it. It is empty, and in fact, there is nothing in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it look like it had been sealed and then
Yeah, it does look like that. Like there's
Nothing. I guess
yeah.
being broken open.
No, it looks like somebody dug a hole, took the lid off the coffin, and you know, now there's the coffin is there empty, the lid of the coffin's next to the hole, and there's nothing in the coffin.
Simple wooden coffin.
Simple wooden coffin. I'm gonna say actually it's a wooden coffin. It's a little nice. It's like one step up from simple wooden coffin.
Is there a tombstone?
There sure is.
What's on it?
You look at the tombstone, and the tombstone says Froderick
Pepperoni.
Dartwild. Reference acknowledged. Froderick Dartwild, and there are like kind of images of like music notes around the name, and there are years written under the name Froderick Dartwild that suggest that Froderick Dartwild was someone who died, somewhat young, probably maybe in their late 20s, and it looks like they were interred here about a year ago.
Remind me how exposed out in the open this graveyard is?
It's on a hilltop, so I guess how could it be less exposed?
Right.
There's no
And
trees.
how fresh does the digging look?
Roll investigation on holes.
Everybody help me.
Mm.
I'm wise, but I'm not smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 19.
Oh, hey.
See?
That's better than me.
Everybody can roll well if they just roll well. Josh, you are studying the hole. This hole, you can tell, there's only been like, it has not like completely dried out yet. So like, you think this hole is about a week old, and as you're looking at it, you also see that there are, footsteps, leading away from the hole.
Does the week ago line up with Tuesday?
Sure does.
Amazing. Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
I'd like to follow those footsteps.
All right. Do you want to roll anything on looking at those kind of footsteps, or just kind of follow them?
You want me to roll something? You tell me, man.
Yeah. Why don't
Why don't you find out what kind of footsteps they are?
Yeah, Krong, why don't you, as you're following the footsteps out of the graveyard down the hill toward the outskirts of Toad Hop, you have plenty of time to think on those footsteps. Are people following Krong, or is Krong following these footsteps off on his own?
Oh, I'm absolutely.
I'm following Krong.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What should I roll?
Give me a nature
A
check.
dice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. 12 on nature.
All right. You're looking at them. They do appear to be humanoid footsteps, though they are, it looks like just barefoot, and one of the legs is definitely kind of dragging pretty dramatically.
Not zombie-like at all.
So, like, it's shambling?
Oh, yeah. I think this is one step up from shuffling. This is shambling.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hierarchy of zombie move here.
Oh, of
Yep.
course.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are following the path, it seems to lead. You've gone down the hill, not following just the kind of the road that leads up the hill but kind of a little bit, cutting a corner through the little bit of wilderness here and some uncut grass, and you arrive back at the edge of Toad Hop, and it looks like the tracks go into a little cabin that's kind of set away from the other kind of nicer farmhouses in the center of town.
Where is all this in relation to the church or the temple?
I'm going to say you're a 10-minute walk back from the temple.
Okay.
You look behind you, and it's still there in the distance.
Well, is there a? Shall we knock on the
I think-
door? See what's.
This seems like a job for our sneaky person.
Should I look like the mayor?
Cow?
Does your hat of disguise encompass cow? I thought you had to be like a biped.
I mean, hey, I can be a cow. I've got.
Anything with 4 limbs that, this could be a
Okay.
cow on its hind legs.
Okay.
Who knows?
I'm unclear how that helps, but I'm not going to tell you can't do it.
I mean, or what if Monty, you act like, because I'm guessing the cow has a handler, the mayor has a handler, so I can be the cow and you can
the
be the
first
handler.
people in Toad Hop history to be convicted of impersonating a government official. Their trial was swift. It ended in an immediate death sentence.
I'll just
Only
be
if
the
we get
buxom
caught.
woman and knock on the door or sneak in.
As you go up to the door, well, I mean, I guess you could still knock on the door, but the door is wide open.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's.
I go inside.
Yeah.
You go inside. Inside, it's a quaint little like one room cabin. The first thing you notice, Krong, is it smells real bad. And it's there's the kind of sound of buzzing flies, and as your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness inside the cabin, you notice that kind of seated in the corner on like a rickety kitchen table is a figure that well, I mean, this feels very judgmental, but undead comes to mind.
Okay. Okay. Vibing. He's got cool
Hello.
boots. That's good.
Well met.
This is not a garden variety undead person.
Are you Frederick Dartwild?
Please call me Frody.
Brody, my name is Krong, and may I just say it's a pleasure to meet somebody who speaks normally.
You are too kind.
So this is awkward, but are you planning any sort of undead uprising in the next couple of nights?
No.
Do you know how you became undead? Not dead? I'm so sorry. I'm not sure of the proper terminology.
Post dead, perhaps.
Someone dug me up.
So were you cognizant in the grave, or what, if you don't mind me asking, what's the first thing you remember after dying?
Waking up
As
7 days ago.
So, like, was the top of the coffin already there, or had somebody taken you out? And you woke up on the grass, or do you like remember hearing digging, or kind of? I'm just trying to get the vibe.
There were 2 creatures there.
Ooh, creatures. That's an interesting word. Did you recognize them?
No.
Could you describe them?
Short.
Is there anything we can do for you? Do you have any
They
urges?
took my mandolin. I want it back.
Now, just to confirm, you're talking about the musical instrument, not the kitchen utensil, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you.
Where did they go? I assume they left because I don't see them.
Don't know.
Did they follow you into this room, or did they just kind of wake you up and let you go about?
I used to live here.
Of course.
Thank goodness. I was afraid that this was somebody else's place.
looking around the cabin, does it looks like it has probably been sitting here unused for quite some time. It's tidy but dusty.
So longer than a week, or oh yeah, no, because they died
Probably
Just
about
about
a
a
year.
year ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Have you seen anyone else like yourself?
No.
Were you buried with the mandolin, or did they need to?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, I understand what it's like when you get impatient because somebody's taking a long time to answer.
Brody, what would getting the mandolin back just make you feel better?
I could rest easy.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you need right now while we go look before we leave to go look for your mandolin?
No.
Brody, we'll help. Of course, we'll help you get your mandolin back. And then I look him in the eyes. Will you stay right here for the rest of the time while we look for it?
I don't think he has
I
eyes.
can do that. And he nods his head. It does not make there's a very unsettling noise as his head kind of goes up and down. Like there's kind of like a both like a sloshing and a grinding coming from different parts of his skull.
Yeah.
It's probably not good for him.
Josh is rolling with this as best as he can, but he keeps twitching toward his holy symbol.
Yeah, there's this is a complicated theological problem here, Josh.
Yeah. Stay right here. Don't talk to anyone. Don't hurt anyone. We'll get your mandolin.
Mm.
Yep.
And how will you do that, adventurers?
It's a great
I would like to
question.
go back up to the graveyard and
Yeah.
see who else has been buried in the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
On the theory that they're starting with
The most
relatively
recent.
fresh.
Yeah.
You head up. There are some other kind of modest. It looks like probably graves for some farmers that have been buried here. They all look like they are people that have been probably were of simpler means. They just have sometimes they don't have a first and last name, and they tended to be people who have died of old age. It seems noteworthy that Froderick Dartwild, Frody to his friends, it looks like must have been someone of means, which is a little strange because his cabin is pretty basic, but the headstone for the grave is significant. But he is not the most recent, but he is one of the more recent people interred here. I would say probably he has the nicest headstone of anyone in the grave in the graveyard.
And I assume we'd notice if any other graves were
Yeah,
also open.
There are no other graves that have been visibly tampered with.
Okay.
So what's their goal? Do they zombify him just to get his mandolin?
Which seems weird. You could just take it if he wasn't zombified.
Yeah.
Shall we check out the temple?
We should totally check out the temple because the kids said that that's where the ghosts were.
That's true. Frody looks like he just wandered back home mindlessly.
Yeah.
Except he's got a bit of mind to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's home is where the heart is. So he was missing his heart, so he went home. Maybe, I don't know. But let's check out the temple.
All right, you head into the temple. It's basically, the temple is a kind of small stone structure with a spire on top, images of different deities around it, and you head into it. It's open. It's basically just one big stone room with a bunch of pews and kind of a generic altar at the top, at the front of the room. There is a young man in robes. Who's kind of moving around. It looks like he's kind of been busy upkeeping the temple.
Hi, friend.
Oh, hello, visitors. Welcome. It's not the end of the week, but please come in. Feel free to pray to whoever you'd like. I am I am I just had a name written down. That was pretty good. Oh, switching Google tabs. I'm Father Thornbrook. I'm the local priest here. Please stay a while.
Excellent. So nice to meet you. Oh,
You know you got a zombie, right?
Oh, what now?
Froderick Dartwild.
He's not.
Do you go outside much? Do you like look in the graveyard at all?
Oh, my work mainly keeps me busy in here.
And you live in here then, too?
Oh, I live down in Toad Hop, but I work here.
Oh, okay, so you walked by an unearthed grave for a week and you didn't notice?
The path does not lead directly past the unearthed grave. I just like to point out, J-Raff rolled a very good investigation check to find. There's many graves in the graveyard. He's not like, I'm not saying he's great at his job, but he's not completely incompetent.
Listen, I make no judgments. I'm just checking.
I'm judging.
Are you here? Are you here to see poor Frody's final resting place? My understanding is he used to have quite the reputation.
Let's say yes. Show it to us.
Okay. He leads you out of the temple and around to the back and into the graveyard and is looking through. He's like, well, he was here interred recently, so he'll be over. There's a giant hole.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What happened?
You people don't know anything about this, do you?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what happened.
Did anything happen a week ago, like on Tuesday? Was there any sort of shenanigans, any ceremony, anything?
Visitors?
You know, there were some people who were asking questions about Frody. But well, they're a little bit of local troublemakers, and it's strange that you would also come back here asking questions. I'm suddenly a little suspicious of everyone. Could I get your names? Can I see some identification?
My name is Krong, and I'm asking questions because of this hole in the ground where Frody used to be.
Oh, poor Froderick. He's done so much for Toad Hop.
Oh, like what?
Oh, well, he was a grand adventurer. He was a bard of some note. They said he played a golden mandolin, and he brought back many riches that he reinvested in the town. He used to be part owner in the My Left Boot. But then one of his adventures, he adventured too far, and he came back to us to be laid to his final resting place.
But not part owner of Misty's Bunks.
Correct. There's a whole thing you don't want to know.
Kind of do.
Okay, so like 4 generations back.
Oh God.
Anyways,
there were twins, and they had a falling out, and the family wanted them to run the business together, and they didn't, and they fought, and at first there was just a painted line down the middle,
so
and then they built a wall.
Do you know like the name of the people who were asking about Frody a week ago?
Trout and mackerel.
Trout and more fish names.
I wonder if we could meet them and see if they, are here for the same reason that we were. Or wait, no, you said that they're locals though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they maintain a little fishing hut. If you follow the stream, it's probably maybe 2 miles outside of town. They come into town from time to time. They're troublemakers. I don't think they'd have any. These are the kind of ne'er-do-wells who, they might steal a pie. They might say some unkind words down at My Left Boot, but they're not grave robbers. I hope you can rule them out quickly and find out who the real culprit is here, because I would hate to.
Maybe they saw something.
maybe they saw
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
I
We
would
can-
hate to cast aspersions about
Of course.
the local troublemakers.
the local troublemakers. They're they're good old boys.
Are they short?
Well, they're halflings,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
so I mean it's all relative, but compared to me, yes, they are. um,
Good to know. Good to know.
what's next?
Do you guys want to tell him where Frody is?
Maybe
An ethical
after
dilemma.
after
Do you think
we
he'll
find...
freak out?
You're right. You're right. You want the mandolin back to Frody, then he can
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
Peace. Right. Let's go to Trout and Mackerel's place.
All right. You follow. It is not a long walk from where you are. You follow the stream away from Toad Hop. I don't know what is the outer boundary limit of a hamlet, and you find a kind of little cabin perched on the stream here. It looks a little run down, and you can clearly see that there is a halfling fishing in the stream next to the cabin.
How's the fishing?
Oh, hey, my stream. Get going. Move along. The halfling, he looks real scruffy looking, real sketchy.
Does he look alive though?
He looks alive.
Okay.
He's got kind of wild eyes, a mangy beard, clothing that is probably a couple weeks overdue for a wash. But he looks hale and hearty. He's like you're gonna scare the fish.
Oh, I'd hate to do that.
Mhm.
You notice a second halfling at the sound of this conversation kind of pokes his head out from the cabin. He looks similarly scruffy and unkempt.
Hi.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You detect no magic.
Okay. Thank you.
Doesn't even matter what you rolled.
I don't think you have to roll anything for detect magic.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he detects magic and magical items in quite a range through several different types of material. I think aside from things that are like in a lead box, he would be aware of magic. This is just two humble halflings hanging out, fishing at their fishing hut up the stream from Toad Hop.
Sweet.
The second halfling says, "Trout, they causing trouble?" The first halfling says, "I don't think so. I think they were just leaving."
We just came, we heard so much about Frody on our adventures, and we just came to, visit his grave. And we heard that you also had visited, and we just wanted to hear your stories of our traveling friend.
I don't know nothing about no Frody.
But what's his name that I definitely remember?
Father Thornbrook.
Yep, Father Thornbrook said that you went to visit last week.
Well, he must be lying. The second halfling, who I think we can infer is Mackerel, says, or maybe he's just mistaken.
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
Do
Unless
these-
it's not.
Do they strike me as stubborn or actively lying?
Roll an insight check there, Josh.
Is that passive insight or
No,
just
you-
regular?
Regular insight.
20.
Yeah. Okay. With
Nice.
your
Nice.
cleric eyes, you can't remember the last time you saw such lying liars.
Excuse me, sirs, your pants are on fire.
Yeah.
Well, you're absolutely right. We should be on our way.
And so you went back to Varkenbluff, and the adventure
Yeah,
ended.
Yeah, I didn't find it.
Sorry, Golden Vault. We
need
failed.
we need the sneaky guy. We need the
Right.
sneaky guy
Yeah.
to
So we're gonna
follow
like, are we
these
gonna do it
guys.
like a stakeout now?
3
Hide in
days
the
later,
trees?
Frody gets tired of waiting in that cabin and bites some kid.
No, I think we should do like a sneaky
Yeah.
stakeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pretend to leave him alone.
All right, you
Right.
head.
Yep.
You walk back up the path toward Toad Hop. They stare at you the whole way until you're around the bend in the road.
Okay. These guys are absolutely princes of the community. They also have not a bit of magical skill about them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No magic items in the cabin at all.
So they're not
Yeah.
necessarily the ones bringing
Doing
this.
Yeah.
And
Zombie back.
Krong's use of detect magic would have determined, would probably have identified if that golden mandolin was even here.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you say they're lying.
They're absolutely lying.
Okay. Well,
I think we watch them overnight.
yeah. Let's see
Mhm.
what happens.
What if in the middle of the night
In the middle of the night.
I'm under their bed,
Ooh.
and then I swoop out and wake them up and just terrify them and start getting answers?
That could
Yes.
be
I can
fun.
be pretty
Please.
scary.
You're
Yes, please.
assuming that they have a bed though,
What if they have hammocks? What will your plan do then?
or if they
He's
sleep
It's
on the
easy to be under a
floor.
hammock.
Okay, what if they sleep standing up then? What are you gonna do?
Ooh.
You can hide in the
this-
corner.
If this farm community raises corn, I'm popping some for the night because
There
this is
is-
going to be fun.
Yeah.
There is corn, but it's bad corn.
Mm.
It's feed corn. Monty has proposed something. I don't. Is that what you want to do?
I like this idea because we can intimidate them
Mhm.
Yeah.
to giving up.
All right. Should we do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
12 hours later, the sun is set, the moon has risen. It's the countryside, so there's sounds of like, crickets and insects buzzing and owls hooting, and all the good people of Toad Hop have been asleep for hours. It is so dark, and a very different kind of noise from Farken Bluff. And I imagine that like basically 3 of you stay and watch from kind of like across the stream as you see like just barely the silhouette of Krong like separate from a tree, pass across the through a patch of moonlight and disappear into the window of the cabin. Krong, inside you see Mackerel and Trout. They're both sleeping in kind of mangy hammocks. They are both snoring loudly. They've got they each have it looks like they caught several fish today. A plates of fish guts and fish bones left over from looks like a good size meal. Yeah, I don't know what you want to do.
I would like to cut both hammocks with 2 claws so they both fall on the ground, and then as a full bugbear, obviously, loom over them in the dark and shriek, "Tell me about Frody!"
All right, give me a dexterity check to slice 2 hammocks at the same time.
I rolled a 19.
All right. You move across the dark 1-room cabin. You slice the hammocks. The sound of 2 halflings slapping to the ground, just like sides of meat hitting the wooden floor. One of them makes kind of a slightly different sound that you immediately recognize, Krong, as somebody who's carrying a good size amount of money in their pockets, even while they sleep.
Nice. I like it.
And I imagine they're both immediately awakened and confused as to what's going on. Hey, what's with
Tell me
Trout!
about Frody. Tell me.
Roll intimidation. Roll with advantage because
Thank you.
you have constructed events such that that they are very likely to be terrified
Yeah.
by this situation.
25.
Okay. They cling to each other, and Trout starts crying while Mackerel says, "It wasn't our idea. We needed the money."
Who paid you to do what?
Scythian, Scythian Skaldarang. He hired us to dig up the grave and steal the mandolin. Don't kill us. We haven't even gotten to spend most of the money.
Where does Scythium live?
He runs a conservatory a couple miles up the way.
Conservatory.
Mm.
Oh my God, it's another music feud.
Oh no.
Yep. All right.
Say, Drake.
Why is Frody a zombie now?
A what now?
All right. See you guys. I just walk out the door.
All right. Somehow that's much worse than anything else that could have happened. And so you have learned that Frody's magic mandolin, his titular golden axe, has been stolen by one Scythian Skaldarang who seems to have paid off the mercenary fisherman Mackerel and Trout to rob a grave. But what use does Scythian Skaldarang have for golden axe, and why would he want it? And will our adventurers be able to recover it and return it to its rightful owner, that he may return to a restful slumber? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
Pow.
The end. So now you know what you have to
this
steal.
episode.
All right.
It's a very long
That
prologue.
was a very long
It's like there is a
prologue.
heist somewhere in
I
this
know.
adventure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not stealing a mandolin from two scruffy little guys.
Just a one-room cabin. It's a real,
I know.
simple
Where
heist.
can we find it? I
You
don't
know. Mhm.
know.
And now the title of the adventure becomes clear.
There you go.
Weird.
Axe from the grave. Feel free to, you have access to a Google Doc that has some names of people and stuff. There's nothing too exciting in that yet, but you'll probably gain some more information about Skaldarang Conservatory next time.
Sweet.
Livestream / bootleg. Thank you for listening. We'll be back sometime soon with more